All right, Shalom. It's your brother Kachkwala coming back at you with another swift lesson in the spirit, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Akakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. You already see I got this little TikTok. It says they've been pulling this anti-Semitic shit for a long time. People are actually tired of these Jewish people, man. And Jewish people are exposing their horns more and more every single day. So I'm just going to go ahead and start off with this lesson and then get into Shem.
Notion of anti-Semitism. The one thing that is an incorrect statement, because the whole idea of a Semites were people who lived in southwestern Asia, including northeast Africa and the Arabian Peninsula, who spoke Ugaritic, who spoke Ge'ez, who spoke Ethiopic, spoke Hebrew, who spoke Arabic. Those are our people. We are a Semitic people. Therefore, we cannot be anti-Semitic. Ashkenazic Jews are calling us anti-Semitic. We cannot be anti-Semitic because we are the descendants of a Semitic people. Let's lay that to rest. That was a weapon in the hands of the Jews since 1870. They used it against other people, but it doesn't work against people in Northeast Africa. Thank you. Beautiful.
Sir, I get it. Beautiful. I can't believe exactly what I'm hearing. We went to war in World War II to fight for the freedom of speech. We didn't fight for freedom of speech of hatred. Many of our members, I'm the National Commander of Jewish War Veterans, and over 50,000 of our men died. They're fighting for your right to free speech here now. I don't understand why you come out with such hatred.
Phil, excuse me, Phil.
Mr. Muhammad. Sir.
You make me sick to my stomach with that. Because at the same time that you were fighting, you were not fighting for the freedom and independence of black people. Soldiers, black soldiers in segregated companies lost their lives on foreign soil there, but would have to come back and fight just to get a bite to eat and not have to go to the toilet on the side of the road somewhere in the bushes. So you're nothing but hypocrites, and you won't pull that small-time stuff over on me.
I'd like to see us lay to rest this.
So you see what was being said there. So this individual that you see right here, he's trying to lay to rest this anti-Semitic stuff, which he's saying what is technically correct. He's talking about how, even though he's not blatantly saying that we are the Hebrew Israelites, but even if you say you are a Hebrew or you are a Jew, you are a part of a quote-unquote Semitic line. The correct way to say it is Shemitic, all right? Because we come from Shem, which means name in the Hebrew, okay? So all he's saying is these white, as you heard him say, Ashkenazi Jews are saying that we're not Semitic when that's false. So this brings me to this genealogy of Shem. Literally, when you sit here and count every single one of these names, there are 54 names on this genealogy sheet, which means there is 54, and I really think it's 55, but I'm just going off the sheet. 54 descendants of Shem. All right. So, of course, you have Elam, Ashur, Faxad, Lud, and Aram. So this is all going into Genesis, the 10th chapter. We can start at verse 21. And I want to read 21 alone, and then we can jump to Genesis, the 11th chapter. So it says, unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japhet, the elder, even to him were children born. Why in verse 21 is specifically, Salakia, is specifically naming the father of Eber, okay? When Eber, Eber to Shem is like a great-great-grand, like a great-grand-grandchild, okay? Why is it mentioned in Eber? Because when you go back to Eber, it goes back to the word Hebrew. That's where the language was formed. All right. So this is strictly saying Genesis 10 and 21, unto Shem also the father of the Hebrews. Okay. Understanding the lines, Esau, yes, is a Hebrew, but he's not the only Hebrew. You get it? Okay. So let's go back to the genealogy of Shem. Shem, Elam, Ashur, Arphaxad. Okay? Because really, Shem, that's why I said Shem begot Arphaxad first. So, matter of fact, let's go ahead and jump to Genesis 11, since I mentioned that, to just go ahead and get the edification on that. Because these Jews will come out, oh, you're anti-Semitic. You're fucking wrong. You're absolutely dog shit wrong. If I'm anti-Semitic, who else are you're saying only you are a Shemite? So him saying anti-Semitic to everybody is excluding all 54 descendants. You're saying none of this 54 descendants, oh my gosh, from Elam all the way down to the Israelites. Only the Edomites are Shem? Disregard all these names here. That's how you can see Esau. Okay, that's how you can see Esau is full of shit. Okay, and he doesn't understand lines. What he probably does, but he just lies. Okay, to keep certain people asleep, of course, because he doesn't want the truth to come out. All right. So, like I was saying, in verse 21 in chapter 10, it says the children of Eber, which is the children of the Hebrews. All right. But when you go to Genesis chapter 11 and 10, it says these are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and begot Arphaxad 2 years after the flood. So Arphaxad was the first born of Shem. Okay. And from Shem, you go down the line. I mean, from Shem Arphaxad, you go down the line. Shelah, Eber, all right? Eber started the Hebrew. Peleg started the divide, all right? Going all the way down to Terah, to Abraham, which Abraham, the line, he split from Ishmael and Isaac, and then it got chosen to Jacob, to the Israelites. That's who the Lord chose as the chosen people. Okay? To prove that correct, going into the scripts, let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 24. All right? Let's just start at 1. I'm going to read swiftly, but I want to get to the point. Wisdom shall praise 24 and 1. Ecclesiasticus 24 and 1. Wisdom shall praise herself and shall glory in the midst of her people. In the congregation of the Most High shall she open her mouth and triumph before his power. I came out of the mouth of the Most High and covered the earth as a cloud. I dwelt in the high places, and my throne is in a cloudy pillar. I alone compassed the circuit of heaven. I walked in the bottom of the deep, in the waves of the sea, and all the earth, and every people and nation I got a possession. So now we're starting to see possessions, all right? Or start speaking generations or genealogies, or who he chose as a people, because there is a chosen people according to the scripts. Verse 7, with all these I sought rest, and in whose inheritance shall I abide? It says, so the creator of all things gave me a commandment, and he that made me caused my tabernacle to rest, because tabernacle means a dwelling place or a tent. Tent is a dwelling place. Dwelling place is a sense of comfortability, where you are comfortable to be with. The Lord was not comfortable to be with these Edomites. All right. It says, and said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob, inheritance in Israel. So from Shem, going to Arphaxad, Shelah, Eber, Peleg, Reu, Serug, Nahor, Terah, Abraham, Isaac. He chose Jacob in Israel. Okay. That's mercy, first off. But you see how the line works. But that doesn't exclude Elam, Ashur, Arphaxad, Lud, Aram, Joktan, Nahor, Haran, Lot, Ishmael, Ishbak, just naming, Median, the Ishmaelites, the Moabites. That doesn't exclude them from being Shem. Yes, the Ammonites, so-called Japanese, are Shem. The Moabites, so-called Chinese, are Shem. The Israelites are Shem. The Edomites are Shem. The Ishmaelites are Shem. So how can you sit here and call 53 other nations or descendants anti-Semitic? That doesn't make sense when you go into the line. That's why this video, which I'm going to replay it at the end of this lesson, is cutting. He's like, and then Esau, you saw in that video, wants to, or we went to war. Well, motherfucker, when you read Revelation, the 9th chapter, when it talks about World War I, it speaks about men who went in there and fought. Israelite men who went in there and fought. So just because you're using that analogy, that's why the bald Jake was like, I hate that you use that in a sense of like, we didn't go over there and fight either. When you look up World War I, you know who was fighting a lot too? The Gadites. Gad enlisted into the army and went over to World War I and fought too, along with the so-called Negroes. So Gad was in there, the so-called Native Americans, and the so-called Negroes was fighting in World War I too. So you can't push that narrative on we fought for our country. Well, motherfucker, we fought too. And then when we came back, we were persecuted and had a fight in our own homeland that you stole. To have a right to piss in the same urinal as you, as a pasty scoundrel. You see? And these are facts. These are facts. And we have the information. So it is easy. So if a Jew-ish person comes up, all you have to do is give me the generations of Shem. You're going to see that you're not the only Shemite. So you can't sit here and act like you're the only Hebrew on this planet Earth. Because you're not. Because you're not. Okay? So Genesis 11 pretty much explains this whole tree. Here, 54 descendants on this genealogy of Shem. And you're sitting here and telling me that those sideburn, curly, hook-nosed, pasty individuals over there who steals lands are the only Shemitic people, yes, Shemitic people on this earth? Gotta be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. That's why information is so crucial to obtain. You have to understand, you have to get the information, and then the facts start coming out, and it's hard to refute. It is absolutely hard to refute. So that brings me to a classic script. Isaiah 33:6. It says, in wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. The knowledge of where we came from, who we are, who the Edomites are, who Amalek is. The knowledge is what's going to cut everybody when it comes to this specific topic. The truth is coming out, and it's going to have to be explained. People are going to start having answers. You got to understand where your genealogy goes back to. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people pick up the Bible, but don't want to read these parts of the Bible. Right when it gets the children of Shem, Elam, and Ashur, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram, and the children of Aram, Uz, Hod. They don't want to go through and read that. When that's very important to understand, very important to grasp, because that gives you the full tree, your family tree of who you stem from. Knowing you're an Israelite is not the only thing. You need to go further back. You need to, okay, I'm Israel. Well, what was Israel before? Jacob. Well, where did Jacob come from? Isaac. Well, where did Isaac come from? Abraham. Well, where did Abraham come from? Terah. Well, where did Terah come from? Nahor, so on and so forth. You see what I'm saying? You have to know these things. You have to understand, even so, Abraham didn't only have Ishmael and didn't only have Isaac. You got to understand he had 8 children. All right? You can find in the Chronicles. You got to know your family history, your family line, and where you stand back to fully understand how they explain these things. So when there are questions that come about, from the left and the right hand side, you are able to edify or defend. The scriptures say you have to contend the faith. Well, if the left hand side is coming to you on some bull, you got to understand on how to defend and contend the faith in the truth by being well versed and understanding where you're coming from. And we're just in a time right now to where Jake is really starting to figure out who they are. Okay, but I was at camp yesterday, and the Captain Abba, he was like, there's way more 2/3 that's gonna get destroyed, all right, than saved, of course, but they're gonna wake up because let me see, what is that? Matthew. Let's see. Is that Matthew 24:11? No. And then the end shall come. It has to be a witness. There we go. Matthew 24:14. It says, "And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all of the world for a witness unto all the nations, and then shall the end come." And then shall the end come. So this prophecy is coming to pass. Man, prophecy be so sweet and makes it's chef's kiss. It's so sweet, right? Because these things, the gospel of the kingdom, is being preached, and it's going to be put on a large platform very soon. Like, it could be day by day type soon. Like, really be put to all nations. Like, shit, a camp could be put on CNN live, being asked questions about a certain topic, or the topic now about anti-Semitic and things of that nature. Who are the real? Why do you black people say you are the Jews? And get it broken down, and you're gonna start hearing other nations around the earth. Well, maybe we are too. Maybe, because where else is the peaceful multitude gonna come in? The 1/3 gotta wake up. The rest of the 144 gotta wake up. And I know like a year or two back, Apostle Tahar did say, he was speaking as a man, that he believes that the 144 are already sealed. That's why these prophecies are going crazy right now, crazy fast. All right. It says, "And then shall the end come." And then shall the end come. And part of that end is a lot of Israelites getting smoked, to be real. And that goes back to what I was trying to say, is the Captain Abba yesterday at camp. The Lord is really pushing this truth out and waking Jake up to understand that they're Israelites, and then whoop their ass. And so they understand why they getting their ass whooped. You see? That's another reason why. Because they were warned. Now they know. What are you going to do? Nothing. You die. Simple. And that's another thing that's going to bug people out. And, when they ask, look, 2/3 of Israel going to get smoked. That's over half. Okay? That's over half. When you look that number, the fraction of 2/3, that's 66.666. That's 50% is half. Over half is going to get done away with. And the rest is going to get delivered. So I just wanted to come with that swift lesson to get the understanding, of who the Lord chose and who are the chosen people, and going into Shem and understanding there's 54 descendants. It's not just you, Esau. It's not just you. Shit, you could just start off at the bottom. Ishmaelites, the Edomites, the Israelites, the Moabites, the Ammonites. They're all Shem. So you can't just exclude everybody,
This whole notion of anti-Semitism. The one thing that is an incorrect statement, because the whole idea of a Semites were people who lived in southwestern Asia, including Northeast Africa and the Arabian Peninsula, who spoke Ugaritic, who spoke Ge'ez, who spoke Ethiopic, so Hebrew.
He was bringing out facts. He was speaking these different languages, and he said, speaking Hebrew. He brought out genealogies. He brought out geography. They migrated over here, over there. It's true. The Moabites, the Ammonites, the Israelites, the Edomites. Edomites had Mount Seir. The Israelites took the land of Canaan. who was of a Hamite descendant. Okay, if anyone are anti-Shemitic, it's the Hamites and the Japhites, because they're not Shem. Because they're not Shem. Okay?
Who spoke Arabic, those are our people. We are a Semitic people, therefore we cannot be anti-Semitic. Ashkenazic Jews are calling us anti-Semitic. We cannot be anti-Semitic because we are the descendants of a Semitic people. Let's lay that.
Then that's facts. We are Dominics from descendants from a Shemitic people, which is ultimately Shem, because we are Israelites and we are on the tree, the family tree of descendants, the genealogy of Shem. We are on this. So that makes us from Shem, that makes us Shemitic. So how can we, when these celebrities say, I'm a black Jew, or the Jews are really black, okay, how can they be anti-Shemitic? Because from what I'm getting, Edomites are not Jews. And really, Jew is a derogatory term. And it's short for Judah. And you're just saying Jew, so you're excluding all the other 12 tribes or 11 tribes associated with the Israelites. Black people are the real Israelites, the real Hebrew Israelites. Let's say it like that, because that is the correct terminology. We are the Israelites. You Edomites are Edomites. You're not Jew. You're not Israelites. You're Hebrew Edomites. And we are Hebrew Israelites. There's a difference between that, but we are both Shemitic. So you can't call us anti-Shemitic or Semitic. Okay? Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem HaKakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruits. To Brother Kashqual until the next time. Shalom. And like always, Salakia, repent, for Yahweh Shai is coming back sooner than what me and you believed. The power of the Israelites.